cheesesteaks, naked parade, art scene. Living in Philadelphia is an absolute experience. Yes, I talked about cheesecakes and I did say a naked parade. Yes, there's a naked parade in Philadelphia. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about the 15 things about living in Philadelphia. In fact, we're gonna break it down to 3 different videos. We're gonna do 5 in each video. So this is 5 things about knowing living in Philadelphia, part 1. And make sure you check out part 2, check out part 3. So here we go, let's go. So today we're gonna talk about those 15 things. Obviously, if you are looking to move to Philadelphia, make a move within Philadelphia, make sure you give me a call, send me a little DM, send me smoke signals, check out my information on what's going on right here, right now. If you need to get in touch with me, definitely hit me up. Now, if you're moving to Philadelphia, like I said, you don't want to miss out on these 15 things. So first thing you want to know about moving to Philadelphia is the cost of living in a city such as Philly. A lot of people think it's expensive. Don't compare us to New York City. Don't compare us to Washington, D.C. Definitely don't compare us to Los Angeles or any of these other large cities. Believe it or not, we are the 6th largest city in Philadelphia, and it's pretty affordable to stay here. Housing costs are pretty decent compared to the fact that we are a big city. We are about an average price range, median price range, about $250,000 to $280,000. Obviously depends on where you're gonna live, what area, all the different areas. Check out some other videos that talk about areas, different neighborhoods to live in. But we are way cheaper than New York City or even DC. Also, we give you a breakdown of sales tax, 6%. Compare that to New York City, which I think is 8.875. That's almost 3% savings when you go out there shopping. So instead of paying almost 9%, you can live here, pay a good 6%, give or take. Healthcare is way cheaper too. Average healthcare is about 6% less than national average. And groceries, yes, we got tariffs. We got some issue with housing prices, but groceries are about 4% cheaper than other large cities. Even leisure stuff you can do. We got a lot of stuff you can do here in Philadelphia for free. I will tell you things are a little bit cheaper, like cost of dining here is cheaper than New York City, for example, or Los Angeles, and beer is cheaper. If you go to a local, a little underground bar, a little rough and gruff bar, prices are way cheaper than New York City, I can tell you that much. So living in Philadelphia means enjoying a vibrant, cool city life. And you get to save some money when you do that, when you're living here. Number 2 out of 15. Anything also cool with Philadelphia is the public system. We have what's called SEPTA, which is the Southeastern Pennsylvania Transportation Authority. We just call it the subway. We have buses, we have the subways. The only bad thing about our subways around here is a lot of the lines stop running at midnight compared to New York City, which basically runs 24/7, 365 days a week. So after midnight, a lot of times there's buses that kick in. So you just got to keep that in mind if you're out there partying late or staying out late for dinner or staying out late enjoying the city. If you're taking a subway into town or center city, you might want to figure out how you're going to get back real quick. Obviously, we have Uber, we have Lyft, so you have that aspect of that. The cool thing too with our subway system, or SEPTA, S-E-P-T-A, is that connects to different things, different cities, different areas. It connects to New Jersey. There's a PATCO line, that's what it's called, SEPTA in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, and across the bridge in New Jersey is called PATCO. You can easily take a PATCO line subway, go right across the bridge like Ben Franklin, brings you right into Camden. 3 reasons why you want to see Camden. Maybe you're attending Rutgers University. Maybe you're hitting a concert over there. You can actually if there's a concert over there at the Camden's, I think it's called Camden Center. It's changed names so many times. Back in the day, it was Blockbuster Entertainment, Blockbuster Arena. And Blockbuster hasn't been around for years. So it's changed names so many times, I couldn't even keep up anymore. I was there a couple of years ago for a concert. Don't even ask me what. But there's some awesome shows over there. And you can actually take a bus. Take a bus, take a train, you can take a boat too. There's actually boats that go back and forth between Philadelphia and Camden. So Rutgers University, you got the concert place, we'll just call it the concert place, and you have the aquarium. Camden Aquarium is pretty awesome. Like, you want to go there. That's probably the only 3 reasons you want to go to Camden ever. Anyway, we're moving on. But the cool thing is you can go back and forth. Now, with public transportation, what that means is that owning a car, some people don't own cars in Philadelphia. Just like in New York City, for example. A lot of people in Philly don't own cars. Parking is terrible. Seriously, if you own a house, parking can be rough. A lot of the new construction stuff that's being built comes with parking, garage or parking spots. Last mayor, it was last mayor or the mayor before, he said anything new construction is being built needs to come with it. Should be coming with a parking spot. Doesn't always happen, but there are a lot of areas, new buildings being built and they come with at least a parking spot. The problem is a lot of households here have more than one car. So if you have 2, 3 cars, it causes problems. But if you have one car in your household or just you, it makes it a little bit easier. Like I said, new construction, you'll find parking because you should be coming with one, but you have that. Now, what a lot of people do, obviously, you do have, a lot of people bike, a lot of people walk, especially if you live in Center City. Like if you live in Center City and the whole surrounding area of Center City, I wouldn't own a car because you can own a car and if there's no parking, then you can fight with the streets trying to find parking and you'll get a parking ticket. Like it's the rite of passage. You will get a parking ticket. Like just accept it. Like we've all got one, at least one. I've got quite a few. You pay for a parking garage, which is expensive, or you can try to get a monthly pass for a parking garage. And a lot of people actually will live on the 20th Street, 20th and Chestnut, for example, and they might park their car like 13th and Market because they find a parking garage there that's pretty cheap. So that's what a lot of people do when they move here, especially if they live in the Center City area, they start shopping around for garages, especially if they're not using the car very much. We also have something that's pretty cool called Zipcar, Z-I-P-A, Z-I-P cars. You can rent a car for a day. You can rent a car for a couple hours. So in other words, if you don't have a car, but you got a lot of things you want to do during the day, you can get a zip car. You can do that too. It's pretty cool. I know a lot of realtors like myself. I don't use it. I have my own car, but I know a lot of realtors will do that when they're traveling around Center City, maybe going outside of the city for a little bit. They will get a zip car. Number 3, food scene. I can't even tell you how good it's here when it comes to the food. Like, it's amazing. Like, it's really good. When I first moved here back in 1999, it was really garbage. I'm not even gonna lie. There was a lot of not great restaurants. There was not a lot of restaurants at all. As time's moved on, it's gotten better and better. And I'd say now in 2025, it's absolutely amazing. Yes, some restaurants had to close for the pandemic. That happened, and that's really sad to see because there were some good restaurants that closed, and it was sad to see them disappear. There's still a humongous amount of restaurants out there that are absolutely amazing. Now, we're not just all about cheesesteaks. A lot of people think, oh, I'm gonna go to get Pat's and Gino's, the D'Alessandro's, Jim's, Tony's, like all these different places. I'll be honest with you, I would stay away from them. Not that they're bad. Like if I was gonna get a cheesesteak, maybe D'Alessandro's. There's actually a restaurant in Center City. I think it's on 19th Street. If I think about it later on when the street pops up. But the name is 10 Stone. That's exactly what it's called, 10 Stone. Just Google it. They have a filet mignon cheesesteak that's amazing. Like seriously, that will beat anything you can get at Pat's and Gino's. It's a local little bar called 10 Stone. Check it out if you're in Center City. Take an Uber, take a Lyft, get over there. But there's other great restaurants we have. We got the Capitol Grill, the Del Frisco's. They're here, they're amazing. El Vez, Budokan, some of my absolute favorite restaurants. And I will give you a little tip. I can't believe I'm saying this because I'm not a vegetarian. I'm a meat eater. And there's a restaurant called Devil Was a Sinner. Again, Devil Was a Sinner. It's a vegetarian restaurant and it's awesome. And I can't believe I'm saying that. I am not a vegetarian. Again, I'm a meat eater. I'm a carnivore. I love me a good steak. Give me a good T-bone. Give me a good porterhouse from Capitol Grill. I'm in love. But Devil Was a Sinner is pretty awesome. Seriously, it's a really good restaurant. It's strictly vegetarian. It's got, like I said, it's got a New York vibe to it, so you got to keep an eye on it. But the food is worth it. It's amazing. And it's kind of like family style. Like you'll order 2 or 3 different small plates, and then your date could order 2 or 3 small plates and you guys can share. They have avocado toast there. That's amazing. Like it's killer, like the best avocado toast. You'll come back just for the avocado toast. Again, Devil Was a Sinner. That's kind of surprising. A lot of people are surprised about that when it comes to Philadelphia, that we have such a great food scene. We have a restaurateur named Steven Starr. He's got 10 to 12 different restaurants, and I've been to probably just about all of them. There's another one called Village Whiskey. Amazing. I believe that, yeah, that's a Steve Starr restaurant. He's got big restaurants, small restaurants. Can't go wrong with any of his restaurants. All right. Like I said, cheesesteak's great. We also have Rita's Water Ice. Listen, I'm from New York. I'm originally from New York. So I'm used to snow cones. And when I moved here, when I first moved here, people kept asking me, oh, have you tried the water ice? I'm like, what is that? It's very sweet. But if you're in Philadelphia and you're gonna try out Philadelphia, check out some stuff, definitely stop at a Rita's Water Ice. They're everywhere. You can find them everywhere. And it's weird too, because people here get a water ice like a cup of water ice. You can do half and half, like you can do half water ice and then half ice cream on top. And people get a pretzel. I don't know what it is with Philly people. If you're in Philly, you're watching this, let me know, comment below why pretzels, water ice is such a thing. Like, why does it go together? And yes, people get the water ice and they get a pretzel. It's very strange. And then with the pretzel, a lot of times they get mustard and they eat this at the same time. It's really weird. But yeah, if you're from Philly, explain it to me. I don't get it. Some of the restaurants we got here, like I said, we got White Yak. We got some great Tibetan delights like curries, hand-pulled noodles. We got tons of Indian restaurants that are really good. I would say try to stay away from the more commercial Indian restaurants. If you want real Indian food, go to the more local hole in the walls. That's kind of what you want. And tell me you want some real good spicy Indian food. Food scene in Philly is really awesome. So make sure you check that out if you're here, okay? Number 4, cool thing with Philly, I will tell you, is that you can live in Philadelphia, but feel like you're not living in Philadelphia. Because it's a big city, but depending on your neighborhood, it can feel like you're living in a small little town that's not part of Philadelphia. One of the things I love, for example, by Queens Village. If you live in Queens Village or Society Hill or even parts of University City or Roxborough or Manayunk, Fishtown, Port Richmond, these are all amazing neighborhoods. Sometimes when you live in there, some of these people, they live in these neighborhoods, they never leave. Like, it's crazy. Like, when I first moved here, I know people that live in South Philly, they've never been past like Spring Garden Street, which is kind of a little bit past Center City. They don't go past that because they don't have to. They don't want to. They don't own cars. They don't have a driver's license. They've been living there. The locals have been living there for years. And it's the same thing like if you live in Roxborough, Manayunk. Everything is right there. So a lot of people just say, hey, you know what? I don't need to go to Center City of Philadelphia. I don't need to go anywhere. I can just stay right here in my little neighborhood. And it doesn't really feel like you're living in Philadelphia. Even though you have a Philly address, you kind of have that intimate feeling because you got all the row homes, single detached homes with all the parks and everything. You live close by a park. Like if you live in Roxborough, for example, and you're right by Wissahickon Trail, you'll never feel like you live in a big city. But you do, but you don't. Like it's weird. It's really something unusual. And one of the things I really love about Philadelphia. Another thing, number 5 out of part 1, cool thing I love is like where you're located is awesome. Like seriously, it's awesome because think about this. You are about 2 hours away from New York City. You're 2 hours away from Washington, D.C. If you wanted to take the train to New York City, easy enough. Take the train to Washington, D.C., easy enough. You're an hour away from Amish country. You're 2 hours away from the Pocono Mountains to go skiing in the wintertime. It's pretty freaking awesome. And it's easy to get to New York City. Like there's 3 ways you can do it. You can go to Chinatown and catch a bus to New York City. I don't know if they still do, but they used to have like $10 buses one way. I think it's a little more expensive now, $15, $20. But you can go to Chinatown, grab a bus, go straight into Chinatown in New York City. Just beelines there. It goes crazy. It speeds like crazy up the turnpike. You can do that. You can also take basically the regional rail, take it to like Trenton. Take the trains, take the subway, regional rail out of Center City, Market Street Station, for example, and take it right down the Center train station, Trenton train station. And from there, you catch another train, takes you straight on down to Penn Center in New York City. There's a lot of stops. You can do that. This is my recommendation though. If you're gonna go to New York City and you want to do a little bit cheaper and you have a car, drive to the Hamilton, New Jersey train station. It's a nicer train station. The Trenton train station isn't the nicest. It's a little rough around the edges, let me put it that way. There are a lot of police activity, so you're safe, don't worry about it. But if you want something more cool, calm, and collected, just go like past Trenton, like 10 more minutes, Hamilton train station. You can park your car right there in the garage, I think it's like $10. Jump the regional rail, and that'll take you right into Penn Center. Penn Center Station in New York City. And from there, you're about 4 blocks away from Times Square. So literally, if you leave like 9 o'clock, by 11:30, you can be in Times Square, which is pretty awesome. If you want more information, don't hesitate. Give me a call, send me a text, send me an email, hit me up. Smoke signals, don't send me smoke signals. Make sure you check out the next video that's coming right after this. 5 things, part 2 about living in Philadelphia. Here we go. Number 1, the neighborhoods. Neighborhoods are like, lifeblood of any city, especially in Philadelphia. Every neighborhood in Philadelphia has its own little charm, little character, something to offer, something that might not be the greatest, but here we're gonna focus more on some of the good things that some of these neighborhoods have. Everyone, here you go. Probably one of my favorite neighborhoods, top 3, Old City. It's a historic gem, a lot of history in Old City, I will point that out. And it's weird too, not to get off too much of a tangent, when you go to Philadelphia and you ask people where they're from, they'll tell you, they'll give a real kind of vague description of like, hey, I'm from West Philly. Hey, I'm from South Philly, Center City, Northeast. Those areas encompass a big part of Philadelphia. Sometimes you got to be a little more, dig a little deeper, like, oh, where from Northeast? And they'll tell you Somerton, they'll tell you Bridesburg. Where in West Philly? Oh, University City, right outside of University City. I'm live right in Center City. We say Center City here. When you moving here, you know right away if somebody's not from here originally, or even just moved here checking out when they say downtown. Philadelphia doesn't have a downtown. It's Center City. That's really what it is. But let's talk a little bit about Old City. The cool thing with Old City is the history. You got Old City, Queens Village, Society Hill, they're all right next to each other. So you got Old City, Center City, and then you got University City over here on the other side. Just remember that. And then South Philly below that, of course. One of these days I'm gonna do a map video. Definitely check out that. We'll go more in depth in neighborhoods. But you gotta remember Old City basically was created when Philadelphia was first created in itself. You got, Liberty Bell, Penn's Landing, Benjamin Franklin Bridge, Betsy Ross House. That's all over there in Old City. And by the way, the Liberty Bell, I'm gonna talk about that real quick. Little tip, you can see it for free. I know you probably didn't know that, but you can actually see it for free. I'm not trying to take away from the Philadelphia tourism and the money it makes, but you don't have to walk into the building to see the Liberty Bell. You can actually go right at the end of the building. If you go there, there are these big, huge windows. You'll see the windows, and if nobody's inside the building, you get a real nice clear shot of the Liberty Bell. Take a quick picture and just keep it moving. Just let you know, you can see the Liberty Bell for free. You don't have to pay for it. Cool thing, Old City also, lots of art galleries, dive bars, tattoo parlors. There's some great tattoo places in, no one says tattoo parlors anymore, but tattoo spots in Philadelphia. Some awesome dive bars with great food, great drinks. Another good neighborhood is University City, which obviously a lot more younger crowd, a lot of college students, because you do have Drexel University, University of the Sciences is right in University City. When I first moved here to Philadelphia, 1999, University City didn't go past like 36th Street. Now it's up to like 48. So that University City keeps expanding and getting bigger and bigger to the point where it's actually going over to the other side of 76. Now it's almost becoming part of University City. It's not, but it's the neighborhoods on the other side of 76 have a lot of people are living now, are traveling back and forth to University City. So you got college students, you got a lot of the teachers that live there. Different vibe, more of a younger crowd, younger vibe. Again, great art galleries, great food, great bars, great drinks, great things to see over there. Looking for a little more upscale living? Chestnut Hill. Love Chestnut Hill. I mean, it's just awesome. Been around for many, many years. The train station in Chestnut Hill is one of the first that was ever built in Philadelphia. You still have some cobblestone streets right in Chestnut Hill, just like in Old City. You'll find a lot of cobblestone streets in Old City, but Chestnut Hill is the same thing. Some great places to visit. Probably 7 to 8 minutes away from Chestnut Hill, you'll find one of my favorite spots, Wissahickon Trail. It's a great spot to go walking, biking, hiking. You'll even can ride, I believe you can rent horses and ride up and down the trail, a Wissahickon Trail. Not 100% sure, but I've seen the horses there. So I'm pretty sure you can rent them out, okay? That's the difference between Old City, University City, and Chestnut Hill. Now back to Center City, like I mentioned before. If you refer to a Center City as downtown, you're not from here. You haven't lived here very long. You're most likely what they call an outsider. Keep that in mind. We do have great spots like Independence Hall, Franklin Institute, again, great food, right over Rittenhouse Square. But pretty much anywhere in Center City, you find some great restaurants, some great spots to see. It's easy access to, like if you wanted to go to Old City, you can walk, take a bus, take an Uber, take a Lyft. A lot of people walk, or if you go the other way, the opposite way, you'll hit the museum, Philadelphia Arts Museum. You hit the Franklin Institute. It's all right there. It's amazing. And by the way, within Center City, between Center City and Old City, you will find Reading Terminal. Now, in my previous video, 5 Things to See, Part 1, I talked about food and I didn't mention Reading Terminal, and I'm really disappointed I didn't do that. Amazing spot. It used to be an old train station in Philadelphia. They now turn into like a food market. You can do some shopping there, but really you come in there for the food, and it's an awesome spot. Like if you're a big family, you go there, everyone gets their own little dish. There's so many different spots in there. You can have French food, you can have Caribbean food, Asian food, some good old cheesesteaks, all right in there. And you can try them out, everything in there. So make sure you check out Reading Terminal. You also have a lot of, great amazing things to see historically wise when it comes to the center city. Obviously, you go check out City Hall. City Hall is the big building, has a big dome on top, and William Penn is sitting right on top of that area. Also part of the neighborhood's Queens Village, Old World charm, art galleries, colonial homes, and everything that comes with that. Now keep in mind, I always point this out to people, Society Hill, Queens Village, Old City, a lot of those homes were built over 100 years ago. So you might be spending $650,000 for a beautiful row home that was built about 100, 125 years ago. Well, why do I point that out? Because some of those basements are real low. We were a lot shorter back in the day, so some of those basements are really low. Like, you're not finishing the basement. If you have any thoughts of living in Queens Village, Society Hill, thinking about, I'm gonna get a house, gonna finish the basement. You can finish it, but it's gonna cost you because you're gonna have to dig it out. There are basements, when I talk to low, they're maybe 5 feet high inside. Also, the other thing is when it comes to houses over in Society Hill, Queens Village, Old City, a lot of those houses still have spiral staircases going from the first floor to the second floor or even the third floor. What does that mean? You're gonna be hard pressed to find some good furniture that goes in there. So unless your furniture comes in pieces, it's gonna be real rough to get, bedroom furniture up on the second floor. What a lot of people do, they don't tell you this, but a lot of people do. They go to IKEA. There's actually an IKEA right in Queens Village. A lot of people go there. They don't tell you they did it. They didn't buy furniture there, but they do, because it comes in boxes and they put it together. So you take the box up on the second floor or the third floor and put your furniture together. That's usually what people do. They don't tell you they do that, but they do. I know. Number 2. Now, if you're a history buff, living in Philadelphia is pretty awesome. I am myself a closeted history buff. Love a lot of history, love learning about history. And of course, Philadelphia. I mean, come on, we have tons of history. Our city is steeped in history. I mean, it's amazing the amount of history you can get here if you want to spend a little time. Obviously, if you're gonna look to buy and live in Philadelphia or move within Philadelphia, you're gonna reach out to this guy. In the meantime, don't let the history pass you by. Make sure you check it out. I mean, we have the same streets where Declaration of Independence was signed, U.S. Constitution was signed, Ben Franklin lived here, come on, John Adams was here. Basically, Philadelphia really was of our country. And we also have, as I talked about, Liberty Bell, Independence Hall, Betsy Ross House is right here. So if you are visiting Philadelphia, not only check out the places to eat, places to go, things to see, make sure you check out the history. And the good thing is like you can literally just walk around. Check out Old City, for example. And I mean, that's just history right there with the old architecture, talked about before, cobblestone streets of Society Hill, some amazing murals. Philadelphia has some pretty cool murals, and it's actually, if I remember correctly, you can take a bus tour just to visit all the murals that are around here. And also when you're here visiting, another bus tour you can take. They have these round-looking double-decker buses that you can take. That does a real good trip around, showing the different history that happened in Philadelphia. So make sure you check out either one or both. Going into number 3, no surprises, the city's rich history has spawned a treasure trove of educational institutions, museums, and galleries that cater to everyone. You should definitely check out such places as the Museum of American Constitution, Franklin Library, Franklin Institute is a pretty cool spot to bring, especially your kids to. Children's Touch Museum is another spot. If you have kids, take them over there, check that out. Philadelphia's museum, it's just amazing. It's huge. It'll probably take you 2-3 days to get through the whole thing, but it's there. Obviously, we talked about the Liberty Bell. Another cool thing you can check out for free. Really had nothing to do with history, but it's part of Philly history, which is the Rocky statue. Now, I will tell you, it used to be the Rocky statue was on top of the steps. And then someone within the museum got mad and said, it's not real true art, this statue, so they moved it to the bottom of the steps. And I believe now somebody came to the senses and put it back on top of the steps where it actually belongs. Because if you watch the movie Rocky, he runs up the steps and then he gets up there and he's cheering and jumping and going crazy. So remember that. That's kind of where the statue should be, and I believe it's back to where it belongs. Now, I will tell you, walking up those steps is a workout in itself, so be prepared. Wear comfortable shoes. We also have the National Museum of American Jewish History, for a unique culture experience. Make sure you also go there. It's awesome. Now, if you want something different, I'm going to recommend the Mutter Medical Museum. It shows cases, medical specimens, and history. And it's pretty cool. Have younger kids, probably not the place to go, but if your kid's a little bit older, close to around teenage years, bring them along. I think they'll probably enjoy it. There's some crazy stuff to look at over there. That's awesome. We also have the Mummer Museum, which just talks about the vibrant Mummers Day Parade. I am going to talk more about that parade that happens every year. It's been going on since, I think, 1901 is when it started. So it's like a good 125 years it's been going on. And I moved here in 1999. And it's televised. It's a huge parade. It's in Center City. It's a big spectacle. People dress up, people wear makeup, people are dancing. They got these songs they play them live usually, and they got these synchronized dancing. For me, as a transplant, when I first moved here and I saw it on TV, I'm not gonna lie, I looked at it and said, wow, Philly has a huge gay parade community. People must be coming from all over the world to go to the Mummers Day Parade. I didn't know it was the Mummers Day Parade, so don't judge me on that. But as an outsider looking in, you see this grown individuals, men, women, wearing all these makeup, very flamboyant dresses, dancing, having a good old time. I was questioning, I was like, wow, this is very interesting. The following business day, I went to work and brought it up, and somebody said, no, that's not, that's the Mummers Day Parade. Like I insulted them. So those were my first thoughts. I know better now. That's not what it is. But as an outsider, I don't know. Anyway, not only if you have art museums, art galleries, check out some local art galleries in different neighborhoods like University City, Old City, Queens Village, Society Hill. There's a lot of stuff out there. Like I said, I'll talk more about the Mummers Parade. It's a spectacle, like it really is. Anyway, on to the next one. Number 4, Philadelphia is a dream for walkers and bikers alike. We do have walkable neighborhoods, abundant sidewalks, top-notch public transportation. Some people will complain about it, but getting around city, it could be easy. I tell people all the time, if you're gonna live in the city, like Center City and surrounding areas, you don't need a car, don't have a car. Because having a car, parking is terrible. Again, I've gotten several. Best way to do if you do have a car is buy a house with parking or with the garage. A lot of the new construction buildings that are built in Philadelphia, new construction homes are coming with parking or garage. Anyway, let's get back to parking is terrible. Parking is awful. Parking is what it is. You know, you're gonna get a ticket. But if you don't have to use a car, don't use it. We got Uber, we got Lyft. We've got some good old cabbies. A lot of people walk, a lot of people ride their bike, skateboard to get around, especially in the Center City area. Don't be afraid to use that. We do have bike lanes. There are designated bike lanes and are coming up more and more in the city of Philadelphia. We are, I believe, the 6th largest bike city in the United States. I believe that's the case. And let's talk about that. So you have that when it comes to getting around. I'll also talk about the climate. Climate here is, we have all 4 seasons, I would say. Winter, sometimes, if you're a big skier, you love skiing and you love the mountains, Philadelphia doesn't get a lot of snowstorms. We do get them. We can, get 12 to 16 inches. And on a January 5th, snowstorms still come through here. They hit pretty hard. Yes, everybody runs out and gets still bread, milk, and water and alcohol when snowstorms come along. We do have some pretty awesome summers, pretty awesome springs. Fall is usually pretty good, believe it or not. It usually doesn't get cold into November around here when it starts dropping down. We might get one snowstorm in December. January, February is usually very cold, and we do get some good snow during that time. But it all depends. Past winter, very cold. Not a lot of snow, if any at all, this year. Number 5. We're not just a, eco-friendly lifestyle we have here in Philadelphia. We also, kind of a paradise for outdoor enthusiasts too, I would say. Got Bartram's Garden, America's oldest botanical gardens, a 50-acre free public park nestled along Schuylkill River. It's a national historic landmark you definitely want to check out for wildlife lovers. We have the John Hines National Wildlife. We also have about an hour outside of Philadelphia, a place called Longwood Gardens. It's about an hour away. Make sure you check that out. It's pretty awesome. And by the way, Philadelphia, I've said this before in my previous video, talked about New York City, talked about Washington, D.C., easy to get to, also very easy to get to Amish country, Lancaster, about an hour and 15-minute drive. So you have that. talked about Wissahickon Trail. We got a lot of parks. We got small parks, big parks. We have that all out there. Fairmount Park is amazing. It's got 92 acres. Yes, Fairmount Park has 92 acres, which is basically 10% of all of Philadelphia acreage. A lot of people go there, hang out, do outdoor activities. You know, you can, again, Philadelphia, close pass, easy way to get to. If you want to do a day trip, check out Delaware Water Gap National Recreation Area, Pocono Mountains, hour and a half away from here. We're not that far away from some amazing waterfalls. I believe there's about 7 or 8 different waterfalls within 2 or 3 hours of Philadelphia. So make sure you check that out. All right, that was the 5 things. Part 2. If you made it this far, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, make sure you check out part 3. Well, here we go. Here we're going to talk about 5 things you need to know. Part 3. So let's go. Number 1, huge draw about Philadelphia, education. Absolutely education. I will tell you, high school education here isn't always the greatest, so there is that thought. But if you're thinking about sending your loved ones to college, university, you can't go wrong with Philadelphia. We have top-notch education here when it comes to colleges. You have Temple, you have Drexel, you have University of Pennsylvania. Also, I want to throw in there Villanova and St. Joe's. Huge campuses, beautiful campuses. They will get you where you need to be when it comes to your education. Definitely make sure you check them out. They're located in different areas. Some of the schools, I will forewarn you, some of the schools, some of the colleges aren't in the best of areas. Like Temple University, believe it or not, is right off of Broad Street. And the campus has gotten bigger and bigger. There's a lot of, they actually have their own police force over there called Temple Police Department. But if you go too far out, you might not be in the best of areas when it comes to, you know, spot where Temple University is. So you definitely want to keep an eye on that. Also, like I said, you have those. The beautiful thing about Philly is that when it comes to colleges, you have huge colleges like that. But you also have smaller ones. You have LaSalle University, my own alma mater. Yes, I graduated there with my master's degree. But you also have other ones like Chestnut Hill College, Haverford College, Arcadia University. So if you're not looking for a big college experience, big, huge college experience, such as Villanova, St. Joe's, Temple, Drexel, you have the smaller options. So like Chestnut Hill College is on a beautiful campus. You have Holy Family University, which is not in Philadelphia, it's actually right outside in Bucks County and Bensalem. Not only do you don't have to really focus on Philadelphia when it comes to colleges, you can look in the surrounding suburbs when it comes to that. And of course, we do have the community colleges that are out there. You can try Philadelphia Community College, Montgomery County Community College, and Bucks County. Each county has their own little aspects of community college. If that's what you want to start, then work from there. The cool thing with our colleges here is that when people go, especially the bigger ones, even the smaller ones, they end up staying here. A lot of the kids end up going here, finishing up the college degrees, and they end up staying here. Now, I also can tell you, if you live here, there are other bigger universities. You have Delaware, Wilmington Delaware University was about an hour away. That's right outside of Philadelphia, obviously in the state next door. But so you still have the option of, if you don't want to go to Philadelphia for college, you have tons of universities right outside. So you definitely want to keep an eye on that. We do have one of the largest collegiate populations in the United States. So you know there's a lot going on here. And the cool thing with that is it brings a little younger vibe when it comes into that, when it comes to Philadelphia and their population. Now let's talk about number 2, nightlife. Yes, you might be like me, too old to enjoy the nightlife anymore. But if you are younger, you're moving in here to the city of Philadelphia, there's some pretty cool things you definitely want to check out. We have a lot of rooftop bars like Bach Bar, pretty amazing. I heard, never been there, but I heard it's pretty amazing. You have the Silk City Diner. Definitely want to check out that. I've been there. Amazing food. And then at nighttime, they have amazing theme parties, DJs, the whole 9 yards. And it's right on Spring Garden and right by the Delaware River. And actually over there used to be a whole bunch of bars. That used to be like back in my day when I used to go out, you went down to Spring Garden, you got to Columbus Boulevard. That used to be all bars and clubs and everything. That's where a lot of us used to hang out. A lot of the places have closed now. If you go further up the street, when you get on Columbus Boulevard, you do have the casino right up there. We have a couple casinos around here, not too close by. So if that's your thing, you definitely have that. You have Park Casino, again, Bensalem, Bucks County, Parks Casino. You have the casino in South Philly, and then you have the one on Columbus Boulevard. So you got about 3 casinos close by. And if you want to go a little further out to Chester, there's a 4th casino called Harrah's. Now, but let's get focused back into the city of Philadelphia. Obviously, if you're looking to move here, you want to check out this guy. Give me a call, send me a quick little DM, email, send it over to me. Anyway, there's some cool stuff in Center City. We have SIPS, S-I-P-S, usually on Wednesdays. It's basically like a happy hour for Center City. There's probably 10 to 15 different bars. There's a happy hour every Wednesday from 5 to 7. Cheaper drinks, half off appetizers. And when it's beautiful weather, it's pretty cool because you kind of can bounce around from different bars. A lot of the people that obviously work in Center City, that's where they go. They go check out SIPS. Another cool thing to do is the Philadelphia Art Museum. Yes, the Philadelphia Art Museum has a Friday night lounge. I think it's like $15 to get in the door. And they have drinks, they have bars, you hang out there. And you also, the art museum is open, so the gallery is open. So you can grab yourself your favorite drink, go check out the nightlife, check out the beautiful artwork that's over there. And it kind of gets a little different experience with that. And one of the things I would definitely want to talk about is speakeasies. We have probably about 8 to 10 speakeasies here. If you don't know what a speakeasy is, definitely check it out. 2 of my favorite is Hop Sing Laundromat and the Franklin Mortgage and Investment Company. Yes, that's actually the name, Franklin Mortgage and Investment Company. That one is right in Rittenhouse Square, and I've talked about them in other videos. Check out Rittenhouse Square, awesome spot. I believe it's by the hotel over there, but it's kind of secret, but it's over there. Now, Hop Sing Laundromat is in Chinatown, and you have to be careful with Hop Sing Laundromat. And why do I say careful? It's because, first of all, when you're walking on the street where it's located, you have to look for a door. There's usually like a metal door. You have to look for it. It looks very, just sitting there. It's just a door there. And that's the entrance to Hop Sing Laundromat. I will also tell you, you have to be careful when you go there. There is a dress code. Don't show up in jeans and sneakers. The manager / owner will tell you to take a hike. He does it in a funny way. He's a funny looking dude. I don't want to say looking dude, but he's a funny dude. He will have some smart comments to you if you are not in the dress code. So keep that in mind. And if you ask him what he thinks is a dumb question, you will get a real sarcastic response. So be prepared for that. But they have awesome drinks, awesome food over there. Check out those 2. There are other ones. I'll let you look them up and Google them yourself. If you are in Philadelphia looking for something different, definitely check out the speakeasies. We also have the Dolphin Tavern. We have not only the Dolphin Tavern, but there's a lot of dive bars. If you go to Old City, you'll find tons of dive bars. One of my favorite back in the day used to be Oscars. Oscars is right between, if I remember correctly, Chestnut and Walnut. I believe there's a little alleyway there. You can find Oscars. It's around 14th, 15th Street. Check out Oscar. It's definitely a dive bar. So don't be surprised when you walk in and you go, ooh, it's kind of rough here. But it is a cool bar to hang out to. A lot of people hang out there. Oscars, like I said, go to Old City. Check out some old dive bars over there. Obviously, you have the Stratus Rooftop Lounge. Again, amazing. They definitely, if you're a sports guy, you want to check out Chicken and Pete's Sports Bar. Chicken and Pete's is awesome. Like, the food is great. It is a sports bar. The food is great. The vibe is amazing, especially if there's a game going on. Check out Chicken Pete's in South Philly. There's an original one, the first one that started in Northeast Philly. A little bit smaller vibe, a little more local vibe. But if you go to the bigger ones, especially the one in South Philly, it's huge. TVs everywhere. The TVs are humongous. And Chicken Pete's have crab fries. In Philadelphia, we talk about cheesesteaks a lot, but they have amazing crab fries at Chicken Pete's. Make sure you check that out. Get yourself a cheesesteak, get yourself an order of crab fries. You just can't go wrong, I promise you. Number 3. Now we talked about stuff that adults do. Let's talk about things for the kids. Yes, the kids, the future of our generation. Yes, and Philly has things for the kids, not just adults. You have a Please Touch Museum. I always say when I'm showing houses to families that move in here, again, make sure you check out my information. If you're thinking about moving here, moving out of here, moving into here, relocating, different state, different area, check out my contact info. But either way, I always tell people when we go out to look at houses and to bring their kids along, which I love, bring them along. I always have one rule. When we look at a house, you break it, you buy it. So if you break something in the house, you're buying the house. Just remember that, okay? But when you go to the Please Touch Museum, you can touch as much as you want. Go crazy if you want. Really, you have the opposite rule. If you break it, it is what it is. But it's gonna be awfully hard to break stuff at the Please Touch Museum. You also have the Franklin Institute, which I also love. The cool thing about the Franklin Institute, by the way, what a lot of people don't tell you, there's a parking garage right under the Institute. So if you're on the main door, you go around the block with your car, there's a parking garage there. You can park in there and go straight up, take the elevator up to the Franklin Institute. And it's awesome for the kids. Again, a lot of cool things to see. One of the things I like about Franklin Institute, obviously, is the aspect of not for the kids to do, but it's also educational. So if you're looking for something different, not just like a playground where the kids just run around like crazy, and you want your kids to learn some stuff, learn some science, walk through a big old heart. Yes, learn about the heart. There's actually a big old statue, not even a statue, it's a big old heart that's been put together, that's been built. It looks just like a heart. You can walk in the bottom and walk through the whole thing to the top, and you learn about the heart. You learn about exercising, you learn about science, astrology. It's pretty awesome to check out, so make sure you check out that. Also, last but not least, the Philadelphia Zoo. If you haven't been to, if you come into Philadelphia, make sure you check out the Philadelphia Zoo. I believe it is America's first zoo, and it's big. It's huge. Like, you can spend all day there. I always tell people, make sure you wear comfortable shoes. And in fact, wear comfortable shoes anytime you visit Philadelphia. We do have Uber, we do have Lyft, we have the yellow cabs, we have tour buses you can do, you can rent bikes. But for the love of everything, wear comfortable sneakers, comfortable shoes, because you might do a lot of walking, especially at the Philadelphia Zoo. It's huge, and they have some cool exhibits. You have the gorillas, the tigers, tigers and bears. No, if I remember correctly, I think they have one bear there, but they have some awesome animals. The kids will love it, and you can spend all day there. I tell people, you know, you can bring your lunch if you want to do that. There's a lot of places you can sit to have lunch. They do have a cafeteria there. They also have some food trucks there if you want to check that out. Check them out. It's kind of cool because you kind of walk around. You can grab a drink, adult beverage. They do, if that's open. They do have a spot for that. Walk around, check out the animals. Kids will love it. I promise you. A lot of snakes. Tons of snakes, frogs, scorpions. It'll keep them entertained, that's for sure. Awesome giraffes, and they do giraffe feedings there. They do specific times for the giraffes feeding. And I also point out, there's another zoo right outside of Philadelphia called the Elmwood Zoo. It's right in Norristown, actually. It's a much smaller zoo. And if you have younger kids, it's pretty cool to take them there. It's almost like a big petting zoo. You can feed the giraffes. Yes, you can actually feed the giraffe lettuce. There's 3 of them. But there's also a lot of goats and stuff like that you can pet. There's a little building there, a small little building. You do a little circle on, you walk in, and there's ducks. Like, you literally, like, you're in their habitat, basically. You walk in there, there's ducks in there. You gotta watch out for the ducks. They got different kind of small kind of animals that you can check out. And it's very informative. A lot of the zookeepers there are just standing there, can ask tons of questions. They're happy to share information. That's Elmwood Zoo, not to be confused with Philadelphia Zoo, which is huge. So if you want something smaller for a younger child or two, check out Elmwood Zoo. It's a pretty awesome location right in Norristown. Not that far from Philadelphia, maybe half an hour, 40 minutes. Also, we have things here, and we have the playgrounds, we have the parks around here to check out. But if you want something more educational, more interactive, make sure you check out any of those 3. They're pretty cool places to hang out. Number 4, awesome events. Now, sadly, we used to have the Made in America Festival here. That, by the time the pandemic hit, we had a mayor that wasn't that interested in it. It actually got canceled, and it was humongous. I heard rumors that it's gonna be brought back in a couple of years. It's a huge festival. I mean, it was a 3-day week, like a three-day weekend of just amazing bands would show up, local, international. About 150,000 people used to come through that festival. It used to be around first week of July. Like I said, they have stopped it, but we still have the Roots Picnic. Roots Picnic is pretty cool to check out. It's usually first week of June they have that. This past year they had Maxwell performing, Lenny Kravitz, a lot of small other bands. Of course, the Roots themselves would perform. That's usually on a weekend. It was the first weekend, I believe, in June. That's an annual thing that's been going on for quite a few years. So make sure you check that out if you have the opportunity to do that. It's something you don't want to miss. Other things we do, just like in the summertime, there's just a lot of things to do here. If you come in the wintertime, I talked about this in one of my other videos. I think the first one, 5 Things to Know About Philadelphia, Part 1. I talked about the Mummers Day Parade that happens New Year's Day. And I talked about this also, I'll bring it up again. When I first moved here many, many years ago, so I'm a transplant myself. I've been living here for 26 years now. About 26 years, 27 years now. I remember my first New Year's Eve. I woke up the next day and I turned on the TV and there's this parade. And I'll say it again. I said it then. I'll say it again. I honestly, just looking at it, watching the parade and everything going on in the parade, I thought it was a huge gay pride parade because people are dressed up in flamboyant, wild color outfits, playing music, doing coordinating dances. I'm telling you, that's what I first thought. But then I started paying attention to what the announcers were saying, and it's something that's been going on for the last, I believe, 100 years or something like that. It's local Mummers Day clubs. They get together, they learn their music, they perform basically a song or two, they have choreographed dancing, they're wearing makeup. And by the way, these are grown men, most of them. And they have all their matching outfits, and they go through the whole city of Philadelphia. There's a specific route they have, and they get judged on the actual performance. So they get in front of the judge, they do their dances, the performance, and everything like that. And it's just crazy. It's kind of like the Mardi Gras Festival in New Orleans, but it's slightly different. And it's definitely something you want to check out. It's New Year's Day, and it's televised, and it goes on pretty much all day. And what's funny is that parts of the parade that usually last, usually performing the worst, because a lot of these local Mummers Day clubs participate in adult beverages. So by the time they get time for them to perform, by the end of the day, the dances are pretty funny to watch. Check that out. It's New Year's Day. I'm trying to explain what it is. It's impossible. You have to see it to believe it. Also, another thing we have here that happens every year, it's usually the last week of August that happens, and it's a bike ride. It's this club that gets together, and they do about 10 to 12 miles on their bike. Now, it's not just any kind of bike ride. We'll tell you this, you have to keep an eye on it. And if you've seen it, sometimes you blink twice, you blink 3 or 4 times, because you realize when you see them coming through, because you usually hear the bikes coming. It's a lot, it's hundreds and hundreds of bikes. I'm going to say close to probably a couple thousand bikes. And they all got their little bike bells, and you can hear them from blocks away, ringing the bells, letting people know this is where they're coming. They have a specific route they go through Center City. Like I said, 10 to 12 miles through the Center City. It's pretty cool because by the way, I've never done it, so let me point that out, but it's pretty cool, the sights and sounds that goes on with this bike ride. The thing with this bike ride, what makes it so special, it's called the naked bike ride. Yes, people can dress as much as they want or as little as they want. So, and basically the ride is to promote body positivity. So a lot of people dress up like crazy. You'll see different things. I've seen it twice. I've run into it twice, and every time I see it, I have to look twice and go, wait, oh, look at all these bikes. Oh, wait, there's a lot of naked people. Some of them wear absolutely nothing but sneakers. I'm just telling you right now, be prepared. If you have the opportunity to see it, prepare you. If you don't stare too much, because you might see something that burns your eyes. Just letting you know, it's crazy. And the first time I saw it, I remember I was in Center City. I was leaving Barnes & Noble. There was a Barnes & Noble in Center City, right by City Hall. It's no longer there, I believe it's closed. I went there for a book signing, and I came out, and I heard all the bells, and I was like, what is that? Wait, is that what I think it is? It's almost like, I don't know, it's like huge celebrity coming through, but it's like thousands of people. And you just kind of go, uh-oh, here they come. And they come flying down the street. And like I said, be prepared for what you might see or might not want to see. You know, the old saying, sometimes people that love to be naked really shouldn't be naked. But listen, promoting body positivity, so you might see more than you asked for. Just remember that. It's pretty cool though to see. It's a good vibe. Like I said, it's usually the last week of August that happens. Last but not least, number 5. One of the things we haven't talked about, we need to talk about when it comes to Philadelphia, and that's the Philly sports. Yes, we are a huge professional sports town here. There are the Eagles, there are the Philadelphia Phillies, the Philadelphia Flyers, Philadelphia 76ers. So you got the football, you got the baseball, the hockey, and the basketball. And also we have Philadelphia Union. They don't play in Center City. Philadelphia Union is the soccer team. Last time I heard, year 2025, they're pretty decent. They are in Chester, which is about half an hour, 40 minutes away from South Philly. Just remember that. So if you're gonna check out soccer, we have that. And by the way, 2026, we'll be playing some FIFA World Cup here in Center City and Philadelphia. So keep an eye out for that. But I will tell you, when football, this is a football town. Yes, the Phillies are huge here, the baseball town. It's not a baseball town. It really is a football town. So if you're looking to move here and you don't have a team, football team to, to attach yourself to, you're probably going to end up attaching yourself to the Eagles. Everyone yells out E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles, Eagles, Eagles. And yes, they did win the Super Bowl this past year, and a couple of years ago, they won their first Super Bowl. So the team is pretty good right now, but this is a football town. And if you're from Dallas, I'm going to point this out. If you're from Dallas or you're already from anywhere else and you tell yourself you're a Cowboys fan, do not tell anybody, because the Eagles hate the Cowboys. I'm myself a Giants fan. You tell people I'm a Giants fan, no one really cares. But if you're a Cowboy fan and you live in the city of Philadelphia, you will get a lot of hate. A lot of hate. So you might want to think about letting people know that you're a Cowboys fan. Just keep an eye on that. You do have the Phillies too. Like I said, you have the Flyers. The Flyers are doing well, sort of a hockey town. Phillies are doing really good. Same thing, kind of a baseball town. Same thing with the 76ers. But this is really, people bleed green when it comes to the Eagles. The cool thing with Philly, what I really like is what they've done, something pretty cool, is they put all the professional sports right in South Philly. So you have all those teams playing right in, you have the Lincoln Center. When the Eagles are not that good, they call Link the Stink. The Stink Center is usually what they do when the Eagles aren't doing well. You have Citizens Bank Park for the Phillies, and then you have the Wells Fargo Center, which hosts both the Flyers and the 76ers. They were trying to move the 76ers to Center City. That got kiboshed. That's not happening. They're all staying. And I tell you, when there's a sporting event, it's pretty cool. A lot of concerts, by the way. Anytime any major stars come here, that's where they'll play. They'll play at the Lincoln Center or the Wells Fargo Center. They usually don't play at Citizens Bank Park. It's usually the Lincoln Center, like Bruce Springsteen, Guns N' Roses, Beyonce, Taylor Swift. That's where they play. Okay, just remember that. Some of the smaller acts will usually play in the Wells Fargo Center. But they have turned that into like a whole entertainment complex, because not only do you have those 4 teams playing, you also have Xfinity Live. Goes back to what we talked about, the nightlife. A lot of people come down and hang out at Xfinity Live. They got tons of bars, great food, great space to hang out, like you can catch a ball game. And then afterwards, go to Xfinity Live if you want to continue doing whatever that you want to do afterwards. Great time. Chicken Pete's, which I talked about before. There's a big Chicken Pete's right in South Philly. So anything else I forgot? Well, if I forgot anything about knowing about Philadelphia, make sure you send me do a little comment. Don't forget to subscribe, smash the like button. Thanks for checking out this video, and make sure you check out the next one right after this. You have a great day.